Hey YouTubers, what's up? It's Danielle here again. Welcome back to my channel. So today I have another video for you guys regarding Flash and Arrow for this season. Oh my goodness. They already dropped so much information about the crossover. So I'm going to be covering that today, as well as some stuff that's coming up with Arrow. And I'm also making an announcement that I'm really excited about. I will be doing reviews of the Flash and Arrow episodes when they air in October. I'm going to be reviewing each episode thoroughly and honestly and giving you guys my opinion of everything. So keep your eyes out for that and be subscribed if you want to see my Arrow and Flash reviews. Okay. So, going into the information that we have about the crossover this season is going to be taking place in the multiverse, and my initial idea for a Flash or Arrow crossover was really the Injustice storyline. And if you guys don't know what the Injustice storyline is, the Injustice storyline takes place during the video game Injustice Gods Among Us. I played the story mode myself. It's a really fun game. It's available for PlayStation, Xbox, and your PC, your computer, and it's also available for the tablet and the phone. So if you guys want to check out that game, you totally should, because it is so much fun. You get to do so many cool things like interactive backgrounds and Star Labs mini missions. So I highly, highly, highly recommend Injustice Gods Among Us. It's been my favorite game recently. And I also just got into playing DC Universe Online. So if you guys play DC Universe Online, you can totally check it out. I will be making a new character for myself probably tonight. So I will tell you guys my character name, and you guys can, and if you guys play, you can totally interact with me. Absolutely. So yeah. So now that we're covering that, the reason why I thought the Injustice storyline for the Flash and Arrow crossover would work was because they're getting closer to forming the Justice League. That is the direction that they're taking the show into. They're going towards that direction of building the Justice League of America, which makes me so happy that they're taking it in that direction. But I guess that Crisis on Earth X is a close second to the Injustice storyline. And if you guys don't know what the Injustice storyline is, or the video game, basically the way how the video game was set up was Superman was drugged and tricked into killing his pregnant wife Lois and blowing up all Metropolis, and he was tricked into it by the Joker, who attached the dead man switch to Lois's heartbeat. And it's like extremely heartbreaking, especially in the beginning, because he goes, "Lois, my son," and Joker goes on to say, you know, maybe you won't kill your next family. And Superman goes rogue, and he decides to form a regime of superheroes, which include Shazam, Flash, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, basically everybody, including some villains like Sinestro and even Damian Wayne, Batman's son, goes dark and joins Superman's side, claiming Superman was more of a father to him than Bruce was. So I was actually hoping for them to take the Injustice route with this crossover, because I thought that it would be really cool to see an evil doppelganger version of Barry running the regime. I thought that would have been awesome. But this season with Crisis on Earth X, that's actually a very close second to the Injustice storyline, because the way how Crisis on Earth X is set up is that it's basically a what-if situation. The basic what-if situation with it is, what if the Nazis won World II? What would our world be like? How would everything be if the Nazis won World War II? And I love that they're taking it into this direction, because this was an actual comic, and basically on Earth X or Earth 10 or whatever you want to call it, Superman was taken in by Adolf Hitler, and he was raised by the Nazis and was made into this human weapon called Uberman and uses powers for evil. So the way how they're setting it up is Supergirl being Supergirl's evil doppelganger, and they have an evil Oliver Queen, they have an evil Flash, they have so much stuff coming. So I'm actually really, really, really looking forward to it. They're introducing another character called The Ray through the crossover, and he's getting his own show on the CW Seed, so I'm actually really looking forward to seeing The Ray. I'm actually really looking forward to seeing it all, and I think that it's going to be a really amazing crossover. I'm really looking forward to it, and Candice Patton is actually in Los Angeles right now, trying on wedding dresses for the Barry and Iris wedding that's taking place. Yes! So, to cover the Barry and Iris wedding piece, the only thing that really kind of pisses me off with it, and maybe not as much as like other fans out there on Instagram, but the way how they're setting it up is that Barry and Iris and Oliver and Felicity are both couples are getting married at the same time, which I think that the couples should both have their own separate wedding. They shouldn't be getting married at the exact same time at all whatsoever. I do not think that that should be the case. And in addition to that, what's pissing people off even more than Olicity and West Allen sharing a wedding day is the fact that both weddings are taking place after a funeral. So I am like, what? It's like literally going to be like HR all over again. It's like HR died, bye-bye, grieve him a little bit, and then move on with the rest of your life, laughing, smiling, doodly-doodly-doo. I mean, seriously. This isn't the wedding that Barry and Iris deserve, or what Oliver and Felicity deserve either. So, you know, I'm not as pissed off as some fans, but it definitely does kind of irk me that they're taking it in that direction. I do not like that too much at all. I just think that's a little bit weird, and I don't think that's fair to Oliver and Felicity or to Barry and Iris at all whatsoever. So, now that we got that out of the way, what we're going to also be covering is Arrow Season 6. And Arrow Season 6 this season is going to be having an episode that might be unpopular with certain people. And if you guys know what I'm talking about, it is going to be entitled Black Lives Matter. And the reason why the Black Lives Matter is going to probably be kind of unpopular with people is that it is a very controversial issue right now. It's centered around race issues. It's centered around issues with guns and stuff like that. And I personally feel that if they did not handle the gun control issues so well during Arrow Season 5, I would actually be really terrified about them doing a very politically charged episode entitled Black Lives Matter. But I'm actually kind of confident that they're going to handle it responsibly and respectively. I really do hope that that's what they're going to do, that they're going to handle it responsibly and respectively. And here's why I think they should do the Black Lives Matter episode, why they should do it, and why fans shouldn't worry so much about it, is because in the comics, especially in the 1970s, Oliver was portrayed as a very liberal superhero. He was a very liberal superhero, extremely environmentally cautious, and cared so much about, like, kids, you know, pumping drugs in their veins for cheap high and everything like that. Like, he literally lists off all of his frustrations about that in the Green Lantern and Flash Brave and the Bold comics. And if I find the link to that particular comic book online somewhere, I will leave the link down below. So the thing is that with Oliver in the comics, he shared a friendship, relationship, whatever you want to call it, a friendship and dynamic with Hal Jordan, the Green Lantern. And Hal Jordan was portrayed as a very conservative, Republican type superhero. And the fact that the two of them managed to have a friendship and they managed to respect each other while they still had their disagreements speaks volumes for the fact that nowadays in society, we have people down each other's throats every single time someone says, oh, I don't agree with your political views. And so I think that's actually part of why they should do the political episode, because it's building towards that classic Oliver Queen character from the comics that everybody knows and loves. And keep in mind that Oliver and Hal both had a friendship where they respected each other. They had completely opposite political views, but they still managed to treat each other with respect. And I think that is a brilliant dynamic to show, and if they really want to showcase that further, then they have to bring in Hal Jordan into the Arrowverse. They have to bring him in somehow. I'm not saying bring Ryan Reynolds back, because he's Deadpool now, but finding another actor to play Hal Jordan in the Arrowverse and bring that dynamic in, because I really do think that it's going to bring something in that could be amazing, and it could make people really think about what it is that we're doing with ourselves. We're so caught up in everything with politics. We are so caught up in it. We are so divided with all of it that it just leads to us fighting and just being rude and going down each other's throats like animals. So essentially, I personally feel that they need to show that on TV. They need to show the dynamic of a conservative and a liberal who have a genuine friendship with each other, and they still manage to respect one another despite their opposing views. I personally think that we need to see that on television, and I think that that's important to show. So I am going to keep an open mind to the Black Lives Matter episode of Arrow. I think that if they do it well, it could be a really, really good episode, because Spectre of the Gun in Season 5 of Arrow was my favorite episode in Arrow Season 5. I do have to say, it was my favorite episode in Arrow Season 5, so I have faith that they are going to handle this matter responsibly and respectfully. So I have faith that they're going to handle it well. I have faith. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say for this video. And if you guys like this video, you can comment down below and subscribe and turn your notifications on, because like I said, in 2 weeks from now, I will be reviewing the Flash and Arrow episodes. I won't be reviewing Legends and Supergirl, just because I'm not all caught up on Legends and Supergirl. But once I'm caught up with them, and I'm completely caught up with everything with all the DC TV shows, I will eventually be covering all of them. So yeah, that's all I have to say for this video. Bye guys!